Have you ever wondered what it really takes to make the most out of life as you grow older? Aging is a journey full of change, challenges, and opportunities for growth. It's not always easy to navigate the complexities of our golden years, especially when it feels like the world around us is moving so fast. But here's the truth I've come to learn. While aging is inevitable, how we live our later years is entirely up to us. In today's video, I want to share 5 essential tips for navigating the complexities of old age. These aren't just generic pieces of advice. They're practical, heartfelt lessons I've gathered through my own experiences and conversations with others who are also walking this path. From maintaining physical and emotional health to staying socially connected and keeping your life simple, these tips can truly transform how you experience your later years. And yes, the final tip may surprise you. It's a sensitive but vital subject that's often overlooked. Trust me, it's one you'll want to hear. Life after 70 doesn't have to be about limitations or winding down. Instead, it's an opportunity to focus on what really matters, rediscover joy, and live with purpose. Whether you're already implementing some of these ideas or looking for fresh inspiration, this video will offer valuable insights to make your golden years healthier, happier, and more meaningful. Before we get started, I encourage you to stick around until the very end because each tip is designed to address a specific aspect of aging, helping you live a balanced, fulfilling life. And if you're wondering why the last tip is so important, I'll tell you this: it can have a profound effect on your overall energy, emotional health, and sense of well-being. Before we begin, if this sounds like the kind of content you're interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button for vibrant living and turn on notifications so you never miss our tips on living fully at every age. Your support truly helps us reach more people looking to make their golden years healthier and happier. Let's dive in and explore how you can make the most of this beautiful chapter in life. Point 1. Prioritize your physical health. Taking care of your physical health as you age is one of the most important things you can do to ensure your later years are filled with vitality and joy. I've learned this firsthand. You see, when I was younger, I didn't think much about the long-term impact of my habits. But after turning 70, the importance of maintaining my body became crystal clear. Aging is natural, but how you care for yourself determines whether you thrive or simply survive in your golden years. The first thing I'd recommend is to embrace movement. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting heavy weights, although if you're up for that, more power to you. It's about incorporating regular, gentle activity into your daily routine. When I started walking every morning, it wasn't just about burning calories. It became a time to clear my head, enjoy the outdoors, and stay connected to my community. Walking not only strengthens your legs and keeps your heart healthy, but it also boosts your mood and helps you sleep better. I remember my friend Margaret, who used to struggle with stiffness and joint pain. She was hesitant about exercise because she thought it might make her condition worse. But after joining a chair yoga class at her local senior center, she experienced a world of difference. Chair yoga allowed her to stretch and strengthen her muscles without straining her body, and she often joked that she felt 10 years younger. The lesson here is that there's always a form of movement that suits your current ability, whether it's swimming, tai chi, or even dancing in your living room. Next, let's talk about regular checkups. As we age, our bodies become more vulnerable to certain health conditions. I can't tell you how many times I've heard friends say they're too busy or too stubborn to see the doctor. But skipping regular health screenings and checkups can allow small issues to turn into big problems. Personally, I make a point of getting my blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels checked routinely. These simple tests have helped me stay on top of my health and make informed decisions about my lifestyle. Another essential aspect of physical health is listening to your body. When you're young, it's easy to ignore minor aches or fatigue, but after 70, those signals shouldn't be brushed aside. I once ignored persistent back pain, assuming it was just part of aging. It wasn't until I mentioned it to my doctor that I discovered it was a sign of arthritis. Catching it early allowed me to manage it with proper treatment and adjustments to my activity. Paying attention to how your body feels and seeking help when something seems off can prevent unnecessary suffering. Of course, diet plays a huge role in maintaining physical health. As we age, our nutritional needs change. I found this out when I started feeling sluggish despite eating what I thought was a balanced diet. After speaking with a nutritionist, I learned the importance of consuming more lean protein, calcium-rich foods, and heart-healthy fats. Simple changes, like swapping sugary snacks for nuts or adding more leafy greens to my meals, made a noticeable difference in my energy levels and overall well-being. Hydration is another key factor. It's easy to forget to drink enough water, especially when you don't feel thirsty. But staying hydrated supports your joints, digestion, and even cognitive function. I've made it a habit to keep a glass of water by my side throughout the day. If plain water doesn't appeal to you, try herbal teas or infuse your water with slices of fruit for a refreshing twist. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of rest. Quality sleep is crucial for your body to repair and recharge. After struggling with insomnia for months, I made changes to my bedtime routine, turning off screens an hour before bed, sipping chamomile tea, and keeping my room cool and dark. The difference was remarkable. Sleep isn't just about feeling rested, it affects your memory, mood, and immune system, too. Remember, taking care of your body isn't about reversing time or chasing youth. It's about honoring the body that's carried you through decades of life, making sure it's strong and capable enough to carry you through many more. By staying active, eating well, and listening to your body, you're investing in a future that's as vibrant and fulfilling as possible. So start small, stay consistent, and give your body the care it deserves. It'll thank you for it. Point 2. Stay socially connected. Staying socially connected is one of the most important ingredients for a joyful and fulfilling life, especially as we age. After 70, it's easy to let our social circle shrink, but I've learned that nurturing relationships and building connections is as vital as eating well or staying active. I'll share some personal stories that illustrate why staying socially engaged is so essential and how you can keep those connections alive. When I first retired, I looked forward to having more time to relax and enjoy hobbies. But after a few months, I started feeling lonely. The daily interactions I'd taken for granted, chats with coworkers, casual conversations at lunch, were no longer part of my routine. I realized that if I didn't make an effort to stay connected, I'd end up isolated, and that was a path I didn't want to take. So I started small. One of my first steps was reaching out to old friends I hadn't spoken to in years. I'll never forget the joy of reconnecting with my college buddy, Richard. We picked up the phone and talked for hours, reminiscing about our youth and catching up on life. It was like no time had passed. Since then, we've made it a habit to check in every couple of weeks, and it's brought a sense of warmth and familiarity to my life. Building new connections is equally important. After moving to a new neighborhood, I decided to join a local book club. Now, I'm not the fastest reader, but the club wasn't just about the books, it was about the people. Sitting around with a group of diverse individuals, sharing opinions, laughing and learning from one another, gave me a sense of belonging. It reminded me that it's never too late to make new friends. Staying socially connected also has real benefits for your health. Did you know that strong social ties can lower your risk of depression, reduce stress, and even improve your physical health? I've seen this firsthand. My neighbor, Carol, became a widow a few years back, and for a while, she withdrew from the community. But when she started attending our neighborhood coffee mornings, she transformed. Her smile returned, and she often says those gatherings gave her a reason to get up in the morning. Another way to stay connected is through technology. Now, I'll admit, I was hesitant at first. Sending texts or using video calls felt like foreign territory. But when my grandson helped me set up a video call app, everything changed. Suddenly, I could see my children and grandkids, even though they live miles away. I remember the first call. I saw my great-granddaughter take her first steps, and my heart felt full. Technology may be intimidating at first, but it's a powerful tool to bridge distances and keep connections alive. Church groups, volunteer opportunities, or even joining a local exercise class are other great ways to meet people and stay involved. I once volunteered at a community garden, and not only did I learn how to grow tomatoes, but I also met a wonderful group of people who shared stories, advice, and plenty of laughter. Sometimes, staying socially connected means being the one to reach out. I know it can feel awkward or even daunting to pick up the phone or start a conversation, but chances are, the person on the other end will appreciate it as much as you do. During the pandemic, I started calling one person a day, whether it was a relative, a neighbor, or an old friend. It became a ritual that kept me feeling connected, even when we couldn't see each other in person. Finally, let's talk about the importance of being open to intergenerational relationships. Spending time with younger people can bring fresh energy and new perspectives to your life. My granddaughter, Emma, often asks me for advice, but I've learned just as much from her, like how to use apps or understand modern trends. These exchanges have deepened our bond and kept me feeling in touch with the world. In the end, staying socially connected is about finding what works for you. Whether it's rekindling old friendships, joining a new group, or embracing technology, the key is to remain engaged with the world around you. Loneliness doesn't have to be a part of aging. By making an effort to connect, you'll enrich your life with laughter, support, and love. Remember, life is better when shared. Whether it's a heartfelt conversation, a shared meal, or simply sitting in comfortable silence with a friend, those connections are the threads that weave a joyful and meaningful life. So reach out, reconnect, and cherish those moments. They're worth it. Point 3. Simplify your life. Simplifying your life as you age isn't just about decluttering your home or downsizing your possessions. It's about making room for what truly matters. After 70, we often find ourselves reflecting on the past, the choices we've made, and the things we've accumulated. Simplifying your life can free you from unnecessary stress and allow you to focus on what brings joy and fulfillment. I learned this lesson the hard way. A few years ago, I decided to clean out my garage. It had become a time capsule, stuffed with tools I hadn't used in decades, boxes of old papers, and more holiday decorations than I could ever put up again. As I dug through it all, I realized just how much I was holding on to, things I thought I might need someday. But that only weighed me down. Letting go wasn't easy at first. Each item seemed to hold a memory, a connection to a time in my life I didn't want to forget. But as I slowly sorted through everything, I realized something important. The memories don't live in the things. They live in me. Simplifying doesn't mean erasing your past or giving up on sentimental items. It's about keeping what truly holds value to you and letting go of what no longer serves a purpose. I kept a box of cherished photographs and letters, but I let go of the broken tools, the knickknacks, and the items I hadn't touched in years. With each bag I donated, I felt lighter, freer. My garage became a usable space again, a place where I could work on projects or simply sit and enjoy a quiet moment. Simplifying your life isn't limited to possessions. It can also mean decluttering your schedule. Many of us are guilty of overcommitting, even in retirement. We want to help everyone, say yes to every invitation, and keep ourselves busy. But sometimes, this leads to stress and exhaustion. I've found that learning to say no is a powerful skill. It allows you to prioritize what truly matters, whether it's spending quality time with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or simply relaxing without guilt. If you're finding these tips helpful so far, comment 2 below to let me know you're still with me. Simplifying your life is a journey, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you've approached it. Another aspect of simplifying is creating systems that make day-to-day living easier. For instance, I've streamlined my finances by setting up automatic bill payments and consolidating accounts. It reduces the mental load of remembering due dates and keeps everything organized. Similarly, I've started meal planning and keeping a list of easy recipes on hand. It saves me time and energy, and I've discovered that I eat healthier when I plan ahead. One of the most rewarding parts of simplifying your life is the sense of clarity it brings. When you're not constantly managing clutter, whether physical, mental, or emotional, you have more space to focus on the present. I've noticed that I'm more mindful of the little joys in life, like a sunny day, a bird singing outside my window, or a cup of coffee shared with a friend. Simplifying can also mean letting go of old grudges and unresolved conflicts. Carrying emotional baggage weighs heavily on us, and it's often unnecessary. I once reconnected with an old friend I'd fallen out with years ago. We both admitted that we couldn't even remember why we had stopped talking. It seemed so insignificant in hindsight. That simple act of forgiveness and reconnection brought so much peace to both of us. Emotional decluttering is just as important as clearing out a closet. For some, simplifying life might involve downsizing to a smaller home or moving to a community that better suits their needs. I have friends who moved into a retirement community and found it liberating. They no longer had to worry about maintaining a large house, and they gained access to a supportive social circle and amenities they enjoyed. Ultimately, simplifying your life is about aligning your environment, commitments, and mindset with what truly matters to you. It's a way to reduce distractions and focus on the things that bring you joy, peace, and purpose. Whether it's decluttering your home, paring down your schedule, or letting go of past grievances, simplifying creates space for a more meaningful and fulfilling life. So take a moment to look around and ask yourself, what do I really need? What brings me happiness? By answering those questions, you'll find the motivation to simplify and make room for what truly matters. Life is too short to be weighed down by unnecessary burdens. Point 4. Embrace lifelong learning. One of the greatest joys in life, even after 70, is the ability to keep learning. Embracing lifelong learning isn't just about acquiring new knowledge. It's about staying curious, connected, and engaged with the world around us. It's about realizing that age doesn't diminish our capacity to grow. It enhances it with the wisdom and perspective we've gained over the years. I remember when my granddaughter gifted me a subscription to an online learning platform for my 75th birthday. At first, I chuckled and told her, "What do I need this for? I'm not going back to school." But she insisted, saying it was an opportunity to explore hobbies, learn new skills, or just satisfy my curiosity. Reluctantly, I logged in one afternoon, and before I knew it, I was hooked. My first course was on history, a subject I've always loved but never had time to study in depth. Listening to lectures about ancient civilizations, exploring maps, and understanding the connections between cultures reminded me of how vast and fascinating the world is. From there, I ventured into a cooking class, and then a beginner's guide to photography. I even tried my hand at digital art, something I never thought I'd be able to do. These experiences weren't just about learning. They were about discovering new passions and proving to myself that I could still try new things. Lifelong learning doesn't have to involve formal classes or technology, though. It can be as simple as picking up a book on a topic you've always been curious about or joining a local club or group. For instance, I joined a book club at the library a few years back. At first, I wasn't sure if I'd fit in, but I quickly realized it was one of the best decisions I'd made. We discussed novels, biographies, and even poetry. It wasn't just about reading, it was about engaging in thoughtful conversations and seeing the world through different perspectives. Another way to embrace learning is by sharing your own knowledge. Teaching others, whether it's your grandchildren, friends, or community members, is one of the most fulfilling ways to keep your mind sharp. I've taught my grandchildren how to grow tomatoes in the garden and helped a neighbor fix a leaky faucet. In return, I learned about the latest technology or new ways of thinking about old problems. One of the benefits of lifelong learning is the positive impact it has on our mental health. Studies show that staying mentally active can help delay cognitive decline and improve memory. Personally, I've noticed that when I challenge myself to learn something new, I feel more focused, more alive. It's as if my mind wakes up and says, "Yes, I'm still here, and I'm ready for more." Technology has also opened up incredible opportunities for learning, even for those of us who may not feel tech-savvy. There are countless free resources online, tutorials, virtual museum tours, and language learning apps. I've even joined a virtual chess club, where I've played matches with people from around the world. The first time I beat a younger opponent, I couldn't help but smile and think, "I've still got it." If technology feels overwhelming, don't let that stop you. Many libraries or community centers offer classes on how to use tablets, smartphones, or computers. When I first got my tablet, my grandson spent an afternoon showing me how to navigate it. It wasn't easy at first, but now I use it daily to read articles, watch documentaries, and keep up with friends. Learning can also be deeply personal and reflective. Journaling, for example, is a way to learn about yourself. By writing down your thoughts, memories, and goals, you can uncover insights about your life and what truly matters to you. I've found that journaling has helped me process experiences and appreciate the journey I've been on. Embracing lifelong learning is about saying yes to life. It's about staying curious, adventurous, and open-minded. Whether it's picking up a paintbrush for the first time, experimenting with a new recipe, or simply learning the names of the birds in your backyard, every act of learning adds richness to your life. So, what have you always wanted to learn but never tried? Now is the perfect time to start. Remember, every day is an opportunity to grow, no matter your age. Life is a classroom, and we are all its students. By embracing lifelong learning, you're not just adding skills or knowledge, you're adding joy, purpose, and a sense of accomplishment to your golden years. Point 5. Avoid overindulgence and masturbation. This may feel like a sensitive topic, but it's an important one to discuss openly and honestly, especially as we navigate the later stages of life. Masturbation, like many things in life, is perfectly natural and can even have certain health benefits when practiced in moderation. However, overindulgence can lead to unintended physical, emotional, and even social consequences, particularly for seniors. Let me share a little story to give this point some context. A friend of mine, let's call him George, once confided in me about how he was feeling more fatigued and disconnected from his routine than usual. George was in his late 70s, and he began noticing that his sleep patterns were off, and he felt emotionally drained. As we talked, he admitted that he had been spending more time than usual engaging in private activities like masturbation. He said, "It's just something I do when I'm bored or feeling a little lonely." Now, there's no judgment here. George's experience is something many seniors might relate to. But as George reflected on his habits, he realized that overindulgence was affecting other areas of his life. He felt less motivated to get out of the house, less interested in connecting with friends, and even less energized to pursue hobbies he used to enjoy. It became a wake-up call for him to reassess how he was spending his time and energy. One potential downside of overindulgence in masturbation, especially in our golden years, is the impact it can have on physical health. As we age, our bodies take longer to recover from strain, and overactivity in any form, whether it's physical exercise or personal activities, can lead to fatigue or discomfort. Moderation ensures that you're not overtaxing your body or causing unnecessary stress. Emotionally, overindulgence can sometimes be tied to feelings of isolation, loneliness, or boredom. For many seniors, it becomes an outlet for unmet emotional needs, which can create a cycle of avoidance. Instead of addressing the root causes of those feelings, like reaching out to loved ones or exploring fulfilling activities, overindulgence might temporarily distract from the problem without truly solving it. George found that by redirecting his focus toward rekindling old friendships and starting a weekly book club, he filled those emotional gaps in healthier, more rewarding ways. There's also the issue of how overindulgence can affect relationships. Even if you live alone, maintaining meaningful connections with friends, family, or a romantic partner is vital for your overall well-being. Overfocusing on solitary behaviors can sometimes create a barrier to forming or maintaining those connections. For those in relationships, excessive solo activity might unintentionally reduce intimacy or create a sense of emotional distance with a partner. Another consideration is how habits like this can impact mental health. Overindulgence can sometimes bring feelings of guilt or dissatisfaction, especially if it starts interfering with your daily life or sense of productivity. Recognizing this and seeking balance can help you feel more in control and more connected to the things that truly matter to you. If you've found yourself leaning too heavily on habits like masturbation as a way to fill time or cope with emotions, it's important to approach the situation with compassion and understanding. Remember that this is about balance, not about elimination. The goal is to ensure that these habits don't overshadow other aspects of your life that bring joy, connection, and fulfillment. One way to address overindulgence is by identifying triggers or patterns. Are you turning to this habit out of boredom, loneliness, or stress? Once you identify the underlying reasons, you can find healthier alternatives to address those feelings. For instance, engaging in physical activity, pursuing creative outlets like painting or writing, or volunteering in your community can provide a sense of purpose and satisfaction. George, for example, started filling his afternoons with gardening, a passion he had neglected for years. He found that getting his hands dirty in the soil not only kept him physically active but also brought him immense joy and a sense of accomplishment. As a bonus, it reduced his reliance on solitary habits, allowing him to create a healthier and more balanced routine. For many seniors, seeking professional guidance from a counselor or therapist can also be helpful, especially if these habits are rooted in deeper emotional challenges. Talking openly about your experiences and feelings can lead to valuable insights and strategies for creating a more fulfilling lifestyle. It's important to remember that moderation is key in all things, and this applies here as well. By finding balance and addressing any underlying emotional or social needs, you can ensure that you're investing your time and energy in ways that truly enhance your quality of life. If you're still with me and finding these tips helpful, please comment 3 below to let me know you're enjoying the content. Your engagement means a lot, and it helps foster a supportive community for everyone here. Ultimately, this tip is about taking a step back and reflecting on how your habits align with your overall goals for a joyful and fulfilling life. When you approach these choices mindfully and with intention, you create more room for the activities and connections that truly enrich your golden years. As we navigate the complexities of aging, it's clear that life doesn't end at 70 or 80, it transforms. It becomes an opportunity to focus on what truly matters: our health, our relationships, our passions, and our well-being. The 5 tips we've discussed today: prioritizing your physical health, staying socially connected, simplifying your life, embracing lifelong learning, and avoiding overindulgence in habits like masturbation, are all about creating a life that feels joyful, balanced, and fulfilling. When we focus on these areas, we're not just surviving, we're thriving. These are the golden years, and they're called that for a reason. They're a time to embrace the wisdom we've gained, let go of unnecessary burdens, and invest in what brings us the most peace and happiness. Each tip is a reminder that we have the power to make choices every day that contribute to a richer, more meaningful life. Take a moment to reflect on these ideas. Which of these tips resonates with you the most? Maybe it's taking better care of your body through exercise and a balanced diet. Perhaps it's reaching out to an old friend or spending time with family. Or maybe it's finding the courage to try something new, like picking up a book on a subject you've always wanted to explore. Whatever it is, the effort you make today will pay dividends in your emotional and physical well-being tomorrow. Remember, aging doesn't mean losing, it means adapting, evolving, and continuing to grow in ways that align with your values and desires. It's about finding joy in the little things, staying curious about the world, and nurturing the connections that make life meaningful. By letting go of habits that no longer serve you and embracing practices that uplift you, you're giving yourself the greatest gift of all, the ability to truly enjoy the journey ahead. If you've found value in these insights, I encourage you to take one small step toward implementing these tips in your daily life. Share these ideas with friends or loved ones who might benefit from them as well. And if there's one takeaway I hope you leave with, it's that the choices you make today have the power to create a brighter, more fulfilling tomorrow. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue creating content that inspires growth, joy, and purpose. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Let's make these years the best ones yet.